What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Bundesliga career mode. It's episode number 9. We are back. It is a brand new season, our second year at Borussia Park getting underway. MONCHENGLADBACH going in to the Europa League for the first time in a save, and we'll be starting season 2 off with a budget of 48 million, which I would say is realistic. For a club like ours, having very little remaining in the budget last season, only slightly taking a step up. Yeah, I'd say that's realistic. Yeah, I'm pleased with that. And I just want to check real briefly before we run through the team if we are indeed Europa League and not Conference League. And it is indeed, yeah, Europa League, where our objective is to reach the quarterfinal. Doable, tough but doable. And domestically, once again, reached the last 16 in the Cup. Last year's semi-finalists. Finish in the top 4. Now, I said last season, I don't think we're going to be able to do that. But then again, I didn't think we'd be top 6 last season. I was targeting 8th or 9th place. So it's, oh, we got Kone back. Oh, yeah. Oh, mate, I totally forgot about him. He was out on loan with Roma last year. And I don't know whether we'll cash in or not, but good to have him here. But anyway, yeah, last season, I didn't think we could finish where we did. But we were able to take out Julian Viber. Now he's getting on a bit. Getting on a bit. He's 29. God, that's how you know football nowadays is a young man's game. But yeah, I didn't think we'd get 6th last season, and we did. But breaking at the top 4, and I said it during the season, the problem is in the Bundesliga. Granted, as we saw last season in real life, Leipzig had a bit of a tough season, to say the very least. But Bayern and Leverkusen are always going to take up 2 of those 4 spots within this save. Neither of those teams are going to fall away. They're just too good. And then there's only 2 spots to claim. You've got Borussia Dortmund and Leipzig, who, as we know, have got a great policy of bringing in and developing young talent, which means they'll get better and better during the course of the season. So to sneak into 4th, can we do it? Listen, we'll give it a shot. We'll have a go. But I said at the end of last season, my number 1 target is just making sure, no matter what, we don't drop out of the Europa League, even going down to Conference League. So that means for this season, the board will target a top 4 place. I'm saying, guys, I'll do my best. But really, what I want to do is make sure we finish. Oh, Strikens with a potential upgrade to potentially special. We'd love to see it. Is finished 5th or 6th. That's my target. Once again, try and reach the final 4 in the Domestic Cup. Go far in the Europa League as well. And in the Bundesliga, just make sure we don't drop out of the top 6. With players having their contracts up coming the end of the season, well, there's quite a few players here which I'll have to make decisions on. I'm definitely going to give a contract to Luca Netz. That's our backup left back for Ulreich. He kind of split the games out of Ulreich last season, a really decent player, and I'm going to keep him here. But honestly, as for the others, I might let them all go. There's a couple of decent young talents there, like Borges Sanchez and Fraulo, but I think personally, I might let all of these guys go, including Friedrich and Itakura. And as we are in Europe, and we like to play with that homegrown rule as well, we've got 3 of the 4 players we need. Olszkowski and Nicholas, our goalkeepers, and Rocco Wright as well, are homegrown and trades. We need 1 more player. And whilst this guy would be my number 1 target, pardon the pun, I don't think I can bring him in Season 2. There are a lot of talks Ter Stegen will leave Barcelona this summer, of course, as they're going after the young Espanyol goalkeeper Joan Garcia. But I think for Season 2, for now, he's still their number 1 in the game. So I think realistically, it just wouldn't make sense for him to return home yet. But there is 1 player I'm going to bring home for Season 2. I said that Itakura and Friedrich might be leaving, so we'll need a new centre-half. And this guy is the perfect fit. Jordan Beyer out of the MONCHENGLADBACH Academy, moving on to Burnley, first on loan and then permanently. And unlike in real life, Burnley are still stuck in the Championship right now in this save. We finished mid-table last year in Season 1. So I'm going to say, forget Burnley, come back to Gladbach, and come with us to the Europa League. Jordan Beyer, let's bring him home. So for those unaware of the rule, basically when a club is playing in a European competition, UEFA asks that those clubs submit a 25-man squad where 4 of those players have to be trained by the club for 3 years between the ages of 15 to 21. So it's called homegrown, trained by the club. Now in FIFA Career Mode, of course, it's not a rule, so you don't have to play with it if you don't want to. You can have none players if you don't want to, it's totally fine. But I like to play with it for a challenge, for a bit of realism, and just for a nice kind of homegrown feel as well. So coming back to Borussia Park for £11 million on a 5-year, 40 grand a week Euro deal. Now our highest earner here at Borussia Park. Let's hope he's worth the cash on his return. Welcome home, Jordan Beyer. Yeah, really decent stats as well. And again, defensively too, we got some good centre-halves here. But again, Itakura and Friedrich are both probably going to leave. So that being the case, Jordan should start alongside Van den Busch. And at 25, he's still getting better as well. Not the quickest, but good strength and jumping, very old school, and good defensive stats as well. Coming home, and I'll take it. Obviously, clubs don't have to have 4 players. It just means that when they're submitting their squads, they have to leave vacant spots if they can't fill them with homegrown talent. So to me, like when I play Football Manager, for example, God, I miss playing Football Manager. I always make sure I got 4, just because I don't want to have any vacant spots. You know, the spots are there to be filled. I don't want any vacant ones. So I don't know what to say to Takura. You know, I do quite like him, but he is now 28 years old, so he's not going to get any better. I don't know, we'll see. Could have him as a third choice, I guess we'll see. But yeah, I'll have Beyer and Van den Bosch together. I still might go in for a new centre-half though. And to be honest, we still got plenty of cash, but I don't know where to go next. Well, to be fair, what we could do is send our scouts out again. And a quick academy update for those who want to see how it's currently getting on right now. I'd say the best of the bunch right now is probably this lad, Leonard Becker. 57 overall, yeah, but look at the potential. Absolutely fantastic. And definitely want to watch you. I might actually promote him now. I won't be able to check his potential, but we know he'll be potentially special. I might promote him now and just get him loaned out for the season. I guess we'll see, but it's looking good. I might reject a couple of players here, but it's looking good. And let's go ahead and send our scouts out for the new season then. So let's go back to Germany, as we always keep one scout in the country we're currently managing in. So let's go to Germany for 9 months once again. And last year we looked for a centre half. This year, let's look for... Let's go for a fullback, and let's go on the right-hand side. We've got Sardella, of course, there, but right now he's the only proper right-back we've got. So let's go for a German right-back for the next Philipp Lahm from Germany. I've watched some brilliant players over the years, and Philipp Lahm's footballing brain has got to be up there as one of the best I've ever seen. He was just that intelligent of a player, man. He just had the understanding for the game that was just elite, absolutely elite. And one of the reasons why he played at the top level for so long. So last year, of course, we went to Belgium, obviously, because it's quite close to Mönchengladbach, as is the Netherlands as well. So we're keeping things quite realistic here. I would say let's go for those neighbouring countries alongside Germany and, of course, the western side as well. So with that being the case, we've done Belgium, and therefore I think it's fair to go to the Netherlands next as well. And from the Netherlands... Well, last year we looked for a Belgian playmaker and winger. I might do the same again here as well, because we found a couple of decent players, but possibly could have got better. So let's look for the next winger, or once again, CAM from the Netherlands, and go with the exact same position and type from a neighbouring country. And as for the third and final scout, once again, let's keep it within Europe. Let's stay reasonably close to where we are right now within Germany itself. And look for some neighbouring countries. And to be fair, one country that Mönchengladbach have had a lot of players from over the years is Switzerland. And I can't remember the last time I scouted Switzerland as well. So this will be quite fun here. Obviously, Mönchengladbach have had a lot of Swiss internationals over the years. You know, obviously Jan Sommer between the sticks. Now the Inter Milan goalkeeper. Granit Xhaka, of course, who before going to Arsenal was with Mönchengladbach as well. Briel and Bolo, of course, don't forget as well. So let's go to Switzerland. And let's look for a let's look for a CDM or a CM, someone that can play in that kind of deep line playmaker role or anchorman position. Looking for that next Granit Xhaka or maybe even Dennis Zakaria, who of course played for Mönchengladbach too. So let's go DM from Switzerland, and this year they and Netherlands and Germany will be our 3 countries. And I'm going to need to clear the backlog of young players here, I think. So I'm going to give Andreasen a pro deal and try and get him loaned out straight away. I think for Becker, because his overall is so low, it'll be hard to find him a club where he'll play games. So with that being the case, I'll keep him in the academy for now. But as for Andreasen, should have the, yep, there we go, exciting prospect tag. And we'll get him loaned out as quickly as possible. But again, for the rest of the team, I don't really know where to improve. We will need a little bit more depth to the squad, I would say. But... to be fair, I actually quite like it. I don't think we need to make major changes here. So there's our first sale of at least a couple this season. Friedrich, who was always going to go now that Bayer's coming off to Lorient in France for €5.25 million. And it's going to be quickly followed by another one as well. Because whilst he returned from loan, I was hoping to keep him. I definitely can't now. Bayern Munich come calling, you can't say no. Bid for Kone, who last year was out on loan with Roma. I was hoping I'll be able to keep him, but... come on, man. When Bayern Munich come knocking, I mean, right now, we're not at the level where we can say no to the German giants. But I think we can get a lot more money than just the 35 million they've put in. I think he's worth at least 50 million euros right now. Only 24 years old and 81 overall. And to be fair, if we do get around 45 to 50 million pounds, well, that's going to give us a lot of money combined with a starting budget to rebuild as well. It's what we're going to get. 47.5 mil, and he's going to go to the Allianz. Yes, whilst this isn't what you call the realistic career mode, and we don't have to stick to that if we don't want to. In this case, I think it just makes sense. Kone coming back from loan, I think he'd rather go to a bigger club than ours right now, and there's none bigger in Germany than now the back-to-back champions after they won the title in Season 1 as well. Off to the Allianz, will take 47.5 million euros. Really good fee to get for a player who we didn't even have last year out on loan. We'll take it and aim to reinvest in some great young talent. And to be fair, a couple of players would be great to replace him in that DM role as well. You got Florentino at Benfica right now, 25 years old in the prime of his career, 85 stamina and brilliant passing and defensive stats as well. But also a player that was almost relegated last year with Hoffenheim. They finished in 16th place in the Bundesliga, just about kept themselves up by winning the playoff. Anton Stack. Look at this guy's stats, man. 6'4", 85 jumping, 81 stamina, 81 strength. Mentally phenomenal, and technically as well, really solid all across the board, with a little bit of a hidden gem with that long shot and shot power stat as well. This guy will be absolutely brilliant alongside Rocco Wright as a DM. Let's bring him in. Well, I must say, this could prove to be an absolute bargain. What a baller this guy looks, man. At 26 years old, in the prime of his career right now. And he's a sort of player that could literally play anywhere, man. As a 6, as a 5, as an 8, as a 10, even as a 2, I think he'd do quite well as a right back in this team. But to me, I think alongside Rocco Wright as a DM is where we'll get the best out of him. Almost relegated with Hoffenheim last year. I'm going to imagine he scored a last-minute winner to keep them in the Bundesliga. But he's not staying at the Pro Zero Arena. Instead, he's coming to Borussia Park. So for 31 million euros on a 5-year, 50 grand a week deal. Welcome to Borussia Park. Anton Stack. This guy's stats, man. Absolutely fantastic. As versatile as it gets. May not be the quickest or the most agile, but yeah, I think these technicals and the versatility definitely makes up for it. Look at all those play styles he's got as well, man. Absolute baller. What a signing this could be. As we just learned out, that young Danish striker as well, Dense, and we'll keep our eyes on him there. Another bid from a side in the Bundesliga that are better than us right now. RB Leipzig coming in for Frank Honorat. I wasn't actually overly impressed with him last season. Only a couple of goals in all the Bundesliga games he had. And I'm actually not against letting him go at 28 years old. Not going to get any better now, as we are still in rebuild mode as well. Class player, don't get me wrong, but I think we can do without him and find someone a little bit younger. So Leipzig, I'm not going to ask for too much here. I'm just going to say give us 24 million euros. I'll say that's quite fair in today's market as well. And you can make the step up from Borussia Park to the Red Bull Arena and from Europa League to Champions League. I'll take that. I don't mind it, because there's a few players we could bring in that could play on the wing and do that role just as good, whilst also being a few years younger. And I might actually go after both of them, to be fair, right now at Freiburg and Mainz respectively. I'll go after the lad from Mainz first. That is Paul Nobel, 22 years old, already 78 rated. He's got great acceleration, agility and balance as well, plus that 92 stamina, which you know I love, with great dribbling skills and also technical prowess too. Paul Nobel, let's bring him in. Yeah, what a steal this could prove to be as well. I was expecting some back and forth with the Mainz manager. Started off with a lowball 20 million euro offer, and he said, yeah, I guess Paul handed a transfer request, desperate to play European football, and he's going to get it here at Mönchengladbach as well. So coming in on a 5-year, 30 grand a week deal. Yeah, this could be one of the biggest bargains of the window, to add to a couple we've already made as well. Welcome to Borussia Park. Paul Nobel. Yeah, really good stats on this guy, and the stamina is the cherry on top as well. Only 22 years old, so of course still getting better. But yeah, again, to me, the low strength is a red flag, don't get me wrong, but I think his attacking ability definitely makes up for that as well. CAM or right mid, he or Stroikens, one will have to play there. I think for now I'm going to put Nobel there. And there is the sale confirmed of Frank Honorat to RB Leipzig as well. Possibly could have got a bit more money than 24 million euros, but I just didn't want to deal with the collapse. I think right now we're at a stage in the save where if one of those top 4 teams come in for one of our players, we have to let them go for a fair price. And I'd say, to be fair, 24 million euros is. So our budget out to 46 million euros, and the rebuild continuing. We've already made some big signings, and we still got basically the same budget we started off with. And if we continue to look for new centre halves, with the likelihood being that Itakura will leave at some point, where there's a lot of names on the shortlist here that will be fantastic. I'll be honest, the 2 I really want are currently with Lille. That's Diakite and Alexandro. Both would be amazing fits in the prime of their career right now. Unfortunately, Lille are a Champions League team. We're a Europa League side, so with that being the case, I don't think we should go after one of those. We got Romero right now at Club Brugge. We did a lot of signings from the Belgian Pro League last season. You got Ndaye at Troyes, and you got a couple of really good players here. Ndaye Shimiye, the Burundi centre-half of great stamina, could also play as a central defensive midfielder as well. And also Niakate at Braga right now. I think either of which would be really good fits for us right now. And I'm going to go after Niakate, and the reason being is because he's a left-footed player, and we can really do with a left-footed centre-half right now, alongside either Van den Busch or Jordan Beyer. Niakate, let's bring him in. Got a bit of a centre-half overload here. I mean, Isakura is probably going to go at some point. Even Elvedi, the long-serving Swiss centre-half, might have to go. But this guy coming in is definitely going to get some game time. He looks absolutely brilliant. With that left foot being an added bonus as well. This is a really smart signing. Coming in for just under 20 million euros on a 5-year, 23 grand a week deal. Never used him before. Excited to give him a go. Who he plays alongside, though, Beyer or Van den Bosch, undecided. But he'll certainly be my main guy in the back line. Welcome to Borussia Park. Siku Niakate. Yeah, never used him before. I always say it's hard to use players I've never used before when I've played Karimo for so long, but never had this guy. But his stats really, really impressive. Defensively, very solid indeed, and still getting better at 26 years old. This is a really smart signing. As we continue to rebuild, I did say for this season, one of my big targets was going to be a new right back, and I still haven't signed one yet. There's loads on the shortlist. I so badly want Yan Couto, but I can't do it on that salary right now. But there's a couple of names I'm really, really keen on here. You've got Milan Van Uyck at Coventry City right now, championship side, so definitely would like to take the step up to top level football, especially playing European football too. Then there's this lad who I've never heard of before, Mattia Zanotti, Italian, playing for Lugano in Switzerland right now, but look at the stamina and the pace and balance physicals with great technicals going forward as well. And also Joshua Wagnerman, who to be fair I've signed quite a few times now. He feels like he's been around for about 10 years and yet he's only 24 years old, so I think because I've signed him a few times I'll leave him at Stuttgart right now. But yeah, I've never used this guy before, Zanotti. Don't know really anything about him, but again, it's just 22 years old, already 76 rating, getting better. This could be a really smart pickup from the Swiss league here with some great attacking stats going forward. Let's go bring him in. I have this thing, and I don't know whether you guys are the same as me, but I quite like signing players if they're wearing the same shirt colour as the team you use. Granted, we're a team that play in white with a bit of green, but our away kit is green, and maybe that's what he was wearing for his profile picture day. I'm really excited about this guy, man. Never used him before, never heard of him either, but he seems like a really decent talent. So for just over £18 million coming in on a 5-year, 20 grand a week Euro deal, I should say. Welcome to Borussia Park. Mattia Zanotti. Yeah, don't really know anything about him at all. I guess I should do, really. I'll look him up after I've done the episode. But yeah, the stamina is fantastic. He's quick off the mark. He's got a bit of strength as well. And going forward, looks like he's really good as a wing-back with solid defensive stats as well. If he kicks on at only 22 years old, he could be a great fullback for many years to come. As we're almost out of money now, that'll probably do it for new signings this season, but we've got a bid there for Grant Kara from Union Berlin. Going to turn that down. I'll need a backup for Kleindenz this year. We've got our first 3 scouting updates of the season, so let's go see what we got. We're from Germany. Well, right off the bat, we might have found the next Philipp Lahm. David Janssen looks absolutely brilliant already. I very rarely put players in the academy after 1 month worth of scouting, but I definitely will for him. I know I'm making the academy from the Netherlands and from Switzerland. We'll keep scouting these 3 players here. So, a couple of quick departures. We've loaned out Casper Jandar to Lorient in France. He needs to gain time if he's going to develop. So, 2 years out on loan there in Ligue 1, and hopefully he'll kick on with his growth. And also, Ko Itakura. Again, good Japanese international in our back line last season. But again, we're thinking of the future now. 28 years old. Obviously not old at all, believe me. But someone who I think out of contract come the end of the season, we could do without, especially with the 2 new signings we've made. So he's off to Sporting Lisbon for just under 13 million. And that might do it for new signings, at least for today's episode. Let's dive into the first game, and then we'll end it after that. Yep, first game of the season. Let's start off with a win. Last year, we were thrashed by Bayer Leverkusen 3-0 on the opening day. But this year, bit of an easier fixture. VfL Bochum, newly promoted, away from home, as we aim to start off with 3 points. 4 of our new signings will make their debuts. Niakate and Zanotti in the back line, Stack at DM, and Nobel on the right-hand side, as our new MONCHENGLADBACH team aim to put their best foot forward first with 3 points on the opening day. Bochum away, our first game of the season. I'm liking the look at this MONCHENGLADBACH team for the new season, I must say. To have lost Kone, who returned from loan as our highest rated player, and Honorat, really solid on that right-hand side, and say that our team's gotten better, that's how you know you've recruited well in this summer. And the question is, can it now translate to results on the pitch? Good block, Niakate. And the pass is poor, and Nicholas has to bail me out. Ulrich to Hack. And Kleindenst onside. And whilst the 5 new signings look good, the most important things we've kept hold of him for this season. Should have got his first goal of the season. Last year, second in scoring, only to 1 Harry Kane. And 9 before the break here. Still tied. But that opening goal's coming, and it should have been there. What a great save, Timo Horn. It's coming. It's coming. We're playing well. Just need that breakthrough. Stack plays through Robin Hack. Kleindenst in the middle. Got to find him. He ain't going to miss. Not twice. Come on. And right before the break, Mönchengladbach in front. No surprise he's got it. Pointing to the name on the back of the shirt. Going for the golden boot. He's that good. Bush with the tackle. I really like him. He's so solid at playing out from the back and also the defensive side of the game. And right before the break, it could be and should be a bang bang. Come on! As Kleindenst turns provider to make it 2. Robin bends home, quick fire double, and maybe a KO blow delivered right before the break. 2 goals right before the break set us on our way, and we hold on to the 2-0 victory to start the season off with a win. If we are to qualify for the Champions League, these games have to be bankers. Perfect start, 1 from 1. But that'll do it for today's episode of the Bundesliga Career, guys. Big thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you haven't, please drop a like. Much love to you all. Have a fantastic day. I will return with the next episode with more games in the Bundesliga, aim to improve on our winning start to this season. We'll have the draw for the Europa League phase. Excited for that, and we should play match day 1 as well. And the remainder of the summer window, with 20 million in the budget, we'll probably make at least 1, if not 2 more signings. Have a great day, much love, and I'll see you for the next episode very soon.